I went back to Bristol at the weekend. As we know, we all had a bit of time off, and actually I was quite annoyed because I passed the pub near where my parents live, and they had a band on. You know, pubs sometimes have a band on, and the name of the band, I'm disappointed that I missed them. The name of the band, Rick, was Loose Change. But what I like about Loose Change is it's the least evocative name for a band, isn't it? It's not amazing. Sexy, it's nothing. It's got no kind of mood or feel to it at all. Loose Change. It's
welcome, rough outline.
Yeah.
It's just nothing.
The checkbook stubs.
Pocket fluff.
Yeah. But while I was at my parents' house, they often, they keep clippings of things, if we've been mentioned in the papers, they like to keep a record of them and stuff, because, I like to show it to my grandparents, and keep fully abreast of things. And, I managed to find a couple of them. This is what, I don't know if you've heard this, Karl. It's, for people who don't realise, Karl was making a couple of little 3-minute TV projects recently that were on Channel 4. And in the Sunday Times, someone's written a letter about Karl to the Sunday Times.
Wow.
They can send in comments and views on things they've seen, read, heard.
Oh, excellent.
And this is what someone wrote to the Sunday Times. Who is Karl Pilkington? And why have I just wasted 5 minutes of my life listening to some of his cretinous thoughts on Channel 4? He asked, why are there so many dinosaurs on display in museums? Quotes, couldn't they just choose the best one and just show that? He summed it all up by deciding that we know too much. Somebody clearly doesn't know enough to know that this is a complete waste of airtime, showing no wit, intellect or creativity. That's from Wendy Robinson in Berkshire.
You can't have your critics. You know what I mean?
You've got to have your critics.
Of course you have. If everybody liked what you did, then you're not doing the right thing.
She wasted 5 minutes, and they were 3-minute wonders, so it must have felt...
Yeah.
2/3 as long again.
But think how angry she must have been to have bothered writing this letter to the Sunday Times.
Well, that's good.
I mean, you really must have...
It's all about getting people thinking, that's what I always say to you. As long as I'm getting people thinking about what I've said, she remembered what I said.
But what views did you put out in these short films which you feel people perhaps should be talking about, discussing, digesting, thinking about?
Just stuff that was in my head that day when I was filming them.
Yeah.
Is it in your head now?
Some of it is. Now you've remembered me what I said.
Now you've what?
Now you've sort of told me what I said in that one. Yeah, I remember saying that.
Yeah.
And I stick by it.
Remembering some other stuff?
Yeah.
I'll tell you now, right? This, if I don't know if Wendy's, listen to this. But,
almost certainly not.
But listen, right? I was saying about the museums, right, and how they're big and everything, and they've got dinosaurs all over the shop. I read that in that museum, they've got something like 7 million bits of stuff in there, right? Now, when I spend 2 hours in somewhere, just show me the good stuff. Don't be saying we've got 7 million bits. Because there was a fella who opened it, right? I did a bit of research on the museum. The fella who opened the museum up.
What was his name?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter, does it?
What museum was it?
It was the London one.
Oh, the London one, yeah, okay.
So he's in there, and he's collecting all this, bits of stuff.
What stuff?
Just whatever's knocking about at that time.
Right, okay.
It seemed like
you have researched it.
He never chucked anything away. He's like, I won't put it in the bin, pop it on a shelf.
Okay,
right? So
yeah.
he's put everything on a shelf in the museum. Then, as time went
I think you're
on,
going into too much detail, but just give us the gist of it.
No, but all I'm saying is, he keeps everything, and if you keep everything, sometimes it'll be good stuff, right? And a lot of the stuff was going missing, the good stuff. But people who set these museums up are just as crafty. What? The fella who found Tutankhamun, he was pocketing all sorts of fingers and stuff in his pockets on the way out. That had rings on them and stuff. So all I'm saying is, why is she having a go?
But hang on, wait, what's that got to do with someone pocket? I don't understand your point.
Because she's sort of moaning at me, going, don't have a go at the museum and the dinosaurs. But
no,
she's having a go at your fatuous point.
Yeah, you're absolutely uneducated, stupid point that you got TV time to talk absolute shit, if I could paraphrase Wendy.
That's not my fault. If someone says they want me to do a little programme and you can do what I want, I went and did what I did. free speech, innit?
But we just gave you the chance then to defend yourself, and you just confirmed Wendy's point 1,000 times over. What was all this waffle about people nicking stuff? What's that got to do with anything?
Because she's having a go at me. I didn't nick
But she's having a go at you for talking nonsense that's of no consequence, which is what you just did then.
It's all nonsense.
But what was your point?
Well, alright then, we'll watch Wendy's little programme when that goes out. Let's see what she's got to talk about. Sick of her. Like I say, it's been a struggle. We'll do that. We'll do Cheeky Freak of the Week. Do you want to?
Oh, definitely. Should we do Cheeky Freak of the Week?
Cheeky Freak of the Week?
I can't wait. I'll always do these. I'd start off with these.
Alright, well, let's have the jingle for Cheeky Freak of the Week.
Oh, no.
Do you remember it?
No.
I remember it.
Oh.
Cheeky Freak of the Week. Brilliant.
Something like that?
I want someone though, because that was slightly half-hearted.
Oh, Cheeky Freak of the Week.
Excellent.
Right. This, we're going back again.
Yeah, 17th century?
Well, it was 1829, right?
Oh. I'm impressed.
Now, the problem is with Cheeky Freak of the Week.
Not so much the week, is it, if you're going back to 1829?
Well...
Not even of the century. You haven't even done Cheeky Freak of the century.
There's...
What's the problem with Cheeky Freak of the Week?
Just because...
Other than the sort of moral implications.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, last week, it was a fella with two heads.
Yeah.
We've done Siamese twins. It's Siamese twins again.
Oh,
No, it was Siamese
again.
twins. It wasn't a fellow with two heads last week. It was Siamese twins. Conjoined twins, sorry. They're two different people. This is what I'm telling you.
But this is the problem. They're going to crop up quite a lot just because they've got double a chance. Alright?
Oh, please don't write in and complain. He knows not what he does. You understand, don't you? Carl will actually feature one day in this section.
Yeah.
So, right, go on, Carl.
We're going back to 1829.
Yeah.
All the way back there to
This is a
1829.
retro conjoined twin link.
A couple of guys set up a business. They were called Chang and Ang.
Oh, they're the first. That's why they're called Siamese twins, because they wasn't that what it was based on? Those two, Chang and Ang.
Was it?
The original, yeah. That's why they're called Siamese twins, because I think they were Siamese.
So these are the first ones.
Well, not the first ones, but they're the
First
ones
one.
that got to fame, I think, and why people started calling them. The people started calling them conjoined twins, Siamese twins. I think I'm right there.
Anyway.
Good. Well, the sort of set up business, sort of going round the US
Well, both of them.
and Europe, yeah.
Yeah.
And what they used to do, people were amazed by it anyway.
Yeah.
People wanted to know how they get through life doing certain things that you think about. When you think about Siamese twins, you think about, you know, how do you get through a day like that?
Yeah.
And the thing that cropped up the most with people was how they take a bath. So they used to go on tour around the US and Europe and sit in a bath, have a wash and that. And
Did they ever wash each other by mistake? They go, oh, that ends there. That ends there. Like those things in supermarkets. They put one of those down. We go, oh.
what do you mean?
Put that there.
What do you mean?
You know the things on the conveyor belt? The little
dividers.
Yeah.
They wind me up, those dividers. Sorry, I said a complete tangent, but for some reason, it's my own psychosis, but I get so annoyed if I'm in a supermarket, I've got my shopping, I'm just about to get served, and you can always see there are certain people who stand behind you getting edgy, itchy, worried that I'm not going to put the divider down to separate my shopping from theirs. It's like they're terrified that I'm somehow going to deliberately pay for their shopping.
Sneaking their onion.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't get an onion, I'll have that. And it's just, but what annoys me is it's not so much that, obviously it's a practical thing, it's the fact that they get a little bit edgy. You can actually see, certainly kind of, dare I say it, certain breed of woman and a certain breed of fella will just get a little bit itchy, a little bit edgy, and they just look at you, can just see them sweating, especially if they can't read.
I just lean over and do it myself.
Well, I know, but it's the thing is that it's like they almost feel that they ought to wait for me to do it, as though somehow it's my obligation. And it just for some reason, I know it's ludicrous, but it really annoys me, and I actually deliberately don't put the divider down just to see them sweat.
I like the way that they're actually quite well made. There's some that are brass with like a felt bottom.
Yeah.
Like you really care. Like a twig would do, wouldn't it? Do you know what I
Exactly.
mean?
But I just leave a slight gap. And then when it gets to when the woman's putting it through the till or the guy, I just say, that's my stuff.
Do you ever look at other people shopping and go, oh, I should have got that?
Often.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's annoying.
I'll tell you what it is, it's the same thing, and again, it's my psychosis. When people, if you're on a bus or a train, and we're pulling into the stop, but there's a good, you know, kind of 35 seconds before we're actually going to come to a halt. They leap up, and they're straight by the door.
Yeah.
But it's this fear that they're going to miss out. Oh my god, what if I fell over now and broke my ankle? I'd never get out.
To be fair, I've never had that commuter's worry. I've never commuted, but every second counts, doesn't it? Because you miss a train, it can make a difference of half an hour. So that's why commuters literally run to get their connections.
But the thing is that with a bus,
yeah,
you know, there's often you'll be people who are sat right next to the exit will get up and stand up for a while, waiting to get out. It just, again, I'm not saying it's not, it makes perfect sense to them. It's my psychosis.
They're going to be mowed down in the streets.
They will just be a few
You're going to be in a lovely Chrysler.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I will be going straight through a branch of Waitrose.
Yeah.
Taking people out in the
So we do not condone going through Waitrose in a Chrysler.
In a car.
Now, it's Changanang, they're in the bath, they're washing their own bits, they got one of those dividers, right? They go, well, that's definitely yours. I marked mine. That's definitely mine. Don't wash that, Chang. I wouldn't wash that. Right? So what are they doing? They're in the bath. Carry on with the story.
That's about it, really. I mean, that's the fact that people...
So, two little Oriental fellas joined in the hip, had a bath.
No.
That's your story.
No, they didn't have a bath. They they must have done some sort of research, right?
Who?
Changanang, right? And they said, well, what do people want to see?
Isn't that basically Roller's song?
But it's an idea that people have queued up, they've paid their money, they're in a tent, well, I hear they're going to have a bath, two Siamese people have a bath. How would they possibly do it? Well, I've heard they get into a bath.
But that's
I don't know
they
what's
wanted to see
exciting.
them nude and where the join was.
No.
More than how do you get in the bath?
I don't know. They just that's what they picked. They said what would be good to see. What do you want to see them do?
Having a bath.
How'd you get into trousers? Was there
Exactly. This is all part of it, isn't it? That's why they picked having a bath.
This is all part of it. Well, then watch them get dressed afterwards.
Yeah.
Who was the best out of Changanang? Who was your favourite?
They both look the same, to be honest.
There's a surprise! One was a short ginger woman. Oh dear.
Is there anything what would be better than having a bath for you when you're seeing them? What would sort of make you go, oh, I wonder?
One of them pulling and the other one going home alone.
Yeah.
I go, look, she's definitely up for it. I'm taking her home and go, oh, what am I going to do? Can I watch? Definitely not. Definitely not. Look, you go to bed. I want to wine and dine her.
But if he's got back to their place and they're going at Hammer and Tongs, but are you saying one of them?
No, Hammer and Tongs were their cousins.
Right.
They lived miles away.
Yeah. If one of them gets knackered, can the other one take over?
God! I think we play a record.
That annoys me.
What?
That sort of being at it all night.
What do you mean?
Let's put a song and I'll come back.
What do you mean? Lonesome Day by Bruce Springsteen from his new album The Rising on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Foreman just phoned in and said to Karl, stick up for yourself, don't listen to that Merchant, he does my head in, he's so arrogant.
I don't think I'm arrogant, I think I'm mean.
Yeah.
I just think I'm sort of objectionable. I don't think it's arrogance. I think it's sort of nastiness.
Yeah.
I'm just not a very nice person. But believe me, I'm not arrogant, I think I'm pathetic. We've had a lot of emails saying, could you bring back White Van Karl?
Oh, yeah.
Which is that section of the show where we ask the questions that the Sun asks
someone else,
random punters of Karl. But sadly, recently they've got very politicised and very kind of, basically a little bit depressing. So there's not really anything appropriate. But I have trawled the papers looking for other questions posed in other sections of the Sun.
Good idea.
I was just looking here at the Dear Deirdre section, which is the sort of problem page. I don't know what your views are on this.
I'd love to see Karl. Oh, God, can we get him a job? Just ask... Oh, my God, that would be amazing. Right?
Well, here's one. I'd like to see your view on this, Karl. I'm a happily married 42-year-old woman with 4 kids, yet I've developed a huge crush on pop star Darius Dinesh.
Yeah.
It sent my hormone levels through the roof, and last night I woke my husband up at 4 AM for sex. We've been married for 20 years and he can't believe his luck. Recently I've been having...
I want to go to a... I'll stop you there. Why are you telling me? Right, carry on. Sorry.
Recently, I've been having erotic thoughts about Darius morning, noon and night.
Yeah.
I haven't felt like this since I was a teenager and mad about Donny Osmond. My husband is amazed at the change in me. We had sex twice last night and again this morning.
Again, why are you telling me this? Yeah, go on.
He's just boasting. This is not a problem. It's not a problem.
What's
here.
the problem? No problem, just wanted to tell someone. Thanks very much.
I watched Darius on TV last night, and when my husband came home, I dragged him into the kitchen and we made mad, passionate love. Right, they did it then, twice last night, once this morning. That's 4 times. The 5 times she's mentioned it so far.
Yeah.
She's doing alright. My husband, this is a great bit. My husband thinks it might be his new moustache. Or that I'm going through the menopause, but I know
You were thinking of growing a moustache?
I was
Do you
thinking
think
of
it would
growing a
change your
moustache.
luck with the ladies?
I love the idea that's what he thinks it is. He's telling his mates in the pub.
You should
grow
mad
with
to me.
these.
Grow
The
with
old
these,
Tom
right?
Selleck.
5 times in the last 24 hours.
Hooray for sexy Darius. So, what do you make of that then? What are your views on that?
Hold on though, if that bloke is reading that paper, that narrows it down
It's
a
gotta
bit.
be, yeah.
Who else did he know? His wife likes Darius, he's had sex 5 times that night, and he grew a new moustache. He's thinking, I wonder if that's me.
Maureen.
Yeah, go on.
But what's your concern? Because I'll tell you what her problem is. She's worried that, the reason that she's now kind of overly excited and she's having this great sex with her husband is because she's actually fantasising about someone completely different, younger. She's having these wayward thoughts, isn't she? She's a bit concerned about that. What's your concern? What are your thoughts?
I reckon she's going to start shoplifting soon and coming out in hot flushes. Go on.
Just, they're both happy, aren't they? He's getting what he wants. She's happy. I'd say, yeah, whatever, get on with it.
Do you think that she confess? She wants to be honest with him.
I wouldn't, because not that many fellas like Darius.
Right.
So, if you're sort of thinking, oh, she'd rather have him than me, I don't
What do you
it's
think
gonna
Darius would think of this?
work. He'd probably be happy with that. I mean, if
What would you
said
do?
in there,
What would you do if you got loads of phone calls, right, from women going, Carl, whenever you're on the radio, I just have to do it. I just have to do it. Your voice makes me.
I'd say, right, well, it's all right. I'd be happy with that.
Would you?
Yeah. I mean, just in case anyone is doing that.
What would you do to sort of like egg them on a little bit to help them out? What do you think?
What sexy things would you say?
What do you think is your quality? What do you think people would find, pretty horny about you? Is it your sort of mank wine? Do you think that? Just say this, London shit, innit?
I would say that, but London, it's not that good, is it? Like
I think you've done it there.
So
that's
Say something quite sort of sexy though. Say something like,
well,
I love to love you.
Say
I
something
don't
sexy.
say that.
No, say something sexy.
Susan says to me, do you love me? I go, yeah, you're all right. Job done. But
And
it's
the
job
thing
done.
is, I know that's true.
Yeah.
I know that's true. That's brilliant.
But because one of the things that Deirdre says is that she's wondering if this marriage is going a little bit stale and needs to be freshened up. They need to give a new spice, a new spin to the marriage. What would you do? What advice would you give to spice up, something that they've been married for quite some time?
Get him. I think get Darius. All Darius things. Get David Snedden's new video on the telly.
What do you reckon though, Carl?
Just treat them. Do you know what I mean? Just surprise them now and again with stuff. That's what I do.
It's what you got those condoms, didn't you? That you got 2 for
So
one.
hang on, what? You've never done that? What? You've surprised Suzanne with what?
I've like.
You stood behind a door and shouted at her when she comes in.
Don't drop the jelly.
Yeah, just the usual stuff. There was some free chocolate delivered to work the other day. I took her a bit of that home.
Nice of you. That's very thoughtful.
She didn't like dark chocolate, but I said, well, it's a thought. So I had it. But
you often benefit from any gift that you give her. The chocolate, the meal, the condoms. There's always something in it for you.
Yeah, there is. I love the idea.
she's got bored with the Christmas present now, though.
What, the condoms?
Yeah.
Or the food that she ate.
No, the condoms.
Right.
Yeah, she's got tired of filling them with water, throwing them at the passing kids, or putting them on her head and inflating them.
I love the idea of asking problems. What do you think of erectile problems? You know that Pele advert? He goes, "Be careful, we haven't got erectile problems. Call this number." What would you do if you're impotent? What would you do?
What's the advertising?
It's just saying, like, if you can't,
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Why have they got him doing it?
Well,
he used to be able to keep it up for hours. The ball, and then
yeah. What would you do if you
To advertise that?
No, if you suddenly couldn't get, what would you do?
I don't think it bothered me now.
I know you're 30. What's wrong with that?
you're talking like you're an 80-year-old.
No, but do you know what I mean? You sort of been there, done that now. It's like the boxing and the dancing that I did. It was good as a kid, and now it's like, take it or leave it.
It's a right to Deirdre.
April Come She Will, Simon and Garfunkel.
That was in the days when they kept songs short.
Short and sweet. What do you think of that, Carl? As a track?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, you like that, do you?
It's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, excellent. That's Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington for you. Coming up on the show, we've got Educating Ricky.
I'm not happy with this.
Oh, really? Because the last few weeks have been genius. What is the drop in quality, is there, of the education of me?
Well, it's just, like I said, I've wasted a lot of time this week searching on the web, right?
You wasted a lot of time searching on the web because you come up with things that aren't true. Why don't you look in books and verified sort of like journals?
The web is the new book, though, isn't it?
No,
the web is the new book.
That's the new
going wrong.
Yeah.
Well, so I've been searching, there's hardly anything. I spoke to you in the week, about Monday or Tuesday.
What did you say? There's nothing happened this week in the world.
There's nothing going on. There was a new car wash that you can put dogs in.
There was a car wash you can put dogs in.
That's the only thing that's happened in the world.
And that and the jellyfish, and we've covered that. So, so we've got, I've managed to find some bits, but it's not that good. Rockbusters.
Yeah. Oh, you've really G'd up, so that's coming up, the thing that's not that good.
Yeah, look forward to that.
Yeah.
Can you just quickly tell us about the car wash with the dog in it?
I don't know what's the
That
story.
didn't make the top three.
I didn't waste that much time on it, to be honest.
What did it say?
It just said, how busy are you? Have you got a dog? How about saving some time? There's some car wash out. It's not a car wash, it's dog wash. You take it down there, put your coin in, put your dog in, and it comes out clean. See, there's nothing in it.
Is this called a bath, isn't it?
No, but it's like a machine.
Right.
There's a machine. But we'll, that's why I didn't pick it. So we've got some of them bits coming up.
Eminem, Lose Yourself. Back on form there.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a good tune.
Good. On XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant. Karl Pilkington, more importantly. Karl, come on then.
Right.
I need some education.
No, it's Rockbusters.
I know, but I need education. I need some education.
I know, but we've promised some Rockbusters.
Educating Ricky, I will be ditching before Christmas.
Why?
It will be going.
Why? Because there's nothing out there.
It's just struggling. I was thinking on the way in today, I can either do, doing something more with Steve, because we've done, like, the Ricky angle. Either we can do,
Educating Steve?
No, either like a bit of a call my bluff type thing, but it's like a con merchant, and I have to, like, trick you.
Okay.
Con
So
merchant,
I'm the
I like it.
and you're the merchant. And then, I was thinking something that you just do some work, and you have a moan for a bit, and that's a bit, that's like a wine merchant, that you just, like, whine on about something.
Again,
the pun comes first with you, doesn't it?
You've worked out that first.
Yeah.
That's like, I told you I've come up with a couple of sitcoms for me.
Go on.
One is I've got an imaginary navy called Merchant's Navy. I've got a navy in it, and the premise is I've got a navy. And another one is I live in...
And that's as far as he's got as well.
Yeah, that's all I come up with. If you've got any ideas there, Karl, then that'd be much appreciated. Another one is I live in quite a salubrious part of North London, and that's called Merchant of Little Venice. And I live in Little Venice. Again, I don't know what happens. But, any ideas, Karl?
I've got one where I play an Italian waiter, and it's called Shut Up a Gervais.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
That's the one we're working on now, actually, to follow up with The Office.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do something with that.
Yeah.
We have still got Educating Ricky.
Looking forward to that.
Go on, let's have one.
No, I'll give you the titles.
Give me the titles, yeah, go on, yeah.
Right, you've got 3 bits of info that's gone on in the world, or
possibly
sort of information.
Olden times. Never go further back than the 17th century, do we?
Well, no, let's make it clearer. There's 3 bits of information that people have put on the net. Whether or not they're true, different issue.
And that he still gets it a little bit wrong in translation,
always,
and sort of adds bits to it. Yeah, go on.
So we've got,
I love it when he plays out those historical dialogues. It's like the 15th century where he goes, so anyway, a bloke says to himself, I'll tell you what I'll do.
So the horse isn't happy. Yeah, go on.
Right, so the 3 that you've got to pick from, you've got get your kit on, we're off down the butchers.
Let's get your kit on, we're off down the butchers, yeah.
We've got wash up with you.
Wash up with you.
Wash up with you. Yeah.
And the last one I couldn't really think of a good title for, so it's just, why don't they just get a diary or some paper or something?
Oh, play a record!
We've got to make this into a book. This has got to be a book made for Christmas.
God.
Chapter headings.
Oasis, Live Forever on XFM 104.9. Right, we're in the swing of things. It's mine and Steve's favourite bit of the whole show. This is what we do this show for now. Educating Ricky.
Yeah.
Go for it, Carl.
You said that learning can't be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay, I'll go for the one. What's the one about the butcher, going down the butcher shop?
You've got, get your kit on, we're off down the butcher's.
Yeah.
You going for that one?
Yeah.
Well, do you know the saying, don't let the cat out of the bag?
Yeah.
Do you know what it means?
Yeah, well, don't give away a secret.
Right. Well, do you know how it came about?
No.
Well, ages ago. Before, like...
Ages ago. 17th century?
Yeah, before, like...
Yeah, 17's good. Yeah.
Before, like, you know, proper butchers and Dewhursts and supermarkets and that, you used to get these blokes who sold meat. Right.
Butchers they were called then, I think.
Yeah, but the difference was they didn't stay in the same place, they moved about. Right, so they'd turn up on a street corner, and he'd have, like, loads of carrier bags of, like...
Carrier bags?
Yeah, with meat in and that, and people would
Plastic
be like,
carrier bags?
Yeah, with mobile butcher on them.
Yeah.
Right, so,
Had an email address.
Yeah, go on.
people went, right, yeah, I need some meat, right, so they'd go up to this bloke, and say, what have you got? And he'd say, well, I've got a, you know, you can have a bag full of pig, or you can have, whatever, a bag full of chicken, whatever.
Yeah.
And they'd go, yeah, how much? They go, oh, you know, call it a £5, whatever.
Yeah.
And, they'd buy them, and to make more money, they didn't always fill the bag with what they said was in it.
Oh, I thought that might be the case.
Right?
Yeah.
So what
Did
they
they
used to
ever
do...
put cats in there?
Yeah.
But I don't see what...
Okay, so sometimes they would put a cat in the bag
They'd put
and
a cat
pretend
in
it
the
was
bag.
chicken or whatever else.
Yeah, so
Why was a cat any cheaper than a chicken?
because cats are wandering around the streets, aren't they? Chickens aren't. So to get a chicken, they put a chicken on the top so that when they look in it, they go, yeah, that's alright. Got a bag full of chicken. They'd get home to make the dinner, and they'd be like, what are we having tonight? And they'd go, well, you'll never guess. And they'd have, like, you know, well, you can have a chicken leg, and, you know...
But it would be a cat. They'd have to defrost a pizza.
Yeah.
Did they mind that they were eating cat then? In those days?
He didn't say. He just was saying about the saying, don't let the cat out of the bag. It's like, you know, if they see that, they're gonna go mad.
I'm mildly disappointed with this story. It's alright if it's true, but yeah, there's something about it's just... I want to know more. He always leaves it... Is it Carl doesn't quench your thirst for knowledge, he creates more. I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Well, yeah, he's like the pot noodle of information.
Yeah, do you know, he never... I want to go...
I'm not nourished by it.
It's if for every fact he tells me, there's 10 others that spring up that I have to get clear.
Well, so it was the people that were doing this, it was the dodgy butchers that coined this phrase. Were they saying to each other, don't let the cat out the bag? I.e., what I mean by that, Jack, is don't let them see the cat.
Yeah.
What we've stuffed in there.
Yeah.
Dodgy butcher, there's another phrase, isn't it?
So that's the first one.
Is that a euphemism or is that dodgy butcher?
As his meat delivered around the back.
Sure.
So that's that one. So let's get your kit on.
What does that mean?
It's a euphemism for homosexuality.
Okay. And meat, presumably, in that means different things.
It doesn't. It's a word that is also a male
would
bird.
Would it mean chicken or cat necessarily in that context? Or well, I suppose it could.
Yeah. Carl's look at him. Carl looks at you like a cat.
Yeah.
Whenever we leave him behind, if we don't talk like straight at him and let him see our lips moving, and it's, you know, monosyllabic and very slow. Look, he's lost in that conversation there. He just drifted off, didn't you, Carl?
No, I just was also thinking on animals and that. Something else I was going to use.
Go on.
Was
this isn't a radio show, is it? I just suddenly caught myself. This is nothing.
I told you that before. It's been bad today.
No, but I mean, it's the way, this casual way that it's like we almost have no regard for our listener, and I'm not proud of that. I just don't know what to do about it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how to do this properly. I mean, we're just chatting here. I mean, it's only Anderson who's seen through us, and that surprises me, that more people haven't... I mean, what are the figures like? Do people listen to this show?
I'll find out for you.
You keep saying that.
But, Yeah, there's this parrot. And, apparently it lives
Rick, it's unique, if nothing else. I mean, when you wake up with Woken Tomorrow, you're not even going to hear him start a line with there was this parrot.
Go on, there was this parrot, yeah, go on.
And it can talk and that. Someone's obviously, taught it how to speak and that. And, it flew away, and it's living in this church, right? And people are at the church doing hymns and that, and then
Trouble's brewing.
In between the hymns.
That parrot was owned by an old miner who used to swear a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
then the vicar is going to be really annoyed. That vicar, that vicar's gonna go on.
I just hope he stays quiet, Rick, during the vicar's sermons.
Yeah, go on.
Have you read it?
No, go on. Have you read it?
No, because that's what happens, right?
Go on, tell us, Carl.
During the hymns, it's sort of effing and jeffing and stuff.
Yeah.
And everyone's like going, oh, it's quite funny, really, it doesn't know what it's doing. Everyone's having a laugh.
Yeah.
But it's causing a havoc at funerals.
When did this happen?
Not years ago.
John was a much-loved man. He was a wanker!
Yeah.
So anyway, so that was another story.
What can you say about Uncle John?
Bollocks.
Oh, Carl, I love the fact that when you look at things, you go, that's interesting. A parrot swears at funerals.
That would be a nightmare.
And it stays with you. You see, for a simple man, you retain an awful lot of knowledge. It's just all rubbish. Do you know what I mean? If you just replaced all this rubbish with good stuff, you'd be an intellectual.
Yeah.
Really. Because, your retention is fantastic.
Yeah. So
Did I lose you again there, did I? Was it the word retention?
We've still got, Wash Up With You.
Yeah. Should we play a record and do Wash Up With You?
Yeah, we'll play a bit of Aqualung then.
Aqualung! Alright, that's Aqualung. Good time's gonna come, innit? Right, Carl, come on in, educating Ricky. So, don't let the cat out of the bag, that's where that comes from. Comes from a crafty butcher. Right, go on in.
So the next little headline is, Wash Up With You.
Wash Up With You, go on.
You wanna know about that?
Yes.
It's a survey that they did this week.
They?
Yeah. Some university did some survey.
Brilliant.
Did a world test on washing up.
Yeah.
And each country were given 140 pots to clean. Brits were the quickest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Turkey were the slowest at washing up.
The Turks.
It's not because the little fellas that work in the kitchens with no... Is it?
They can't reach.
Spain were the cleanest, and the Germans were pretty good as well. So
I don't know where to start with this. Honestly, Steve, I don't know where to start with that. Look at his face.
It was really light, right? We've had the parrot, right? These are things that I found. Found the parrot, right? I've told you about the dog in the car wash.
Right, you didn't tell me about that. You said there's a car wash for a dog. That's what you told me.
Yeah,
the
but
parrot. You said there's a parrot. What? It's a problem at funerals.
Yeah.
That's nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing. Do you understand?
And
they used to eat cats.
what else have we got? There's an elephant in India with sore feet.
Why?
There's an elephant in India with sore feet.
I'm interested. Why?
Tap dancing.
Why?
I didn't write that
He's
much down
trying to
about
break
it.
Roy Castle's record. He's still going.
Go on, what is it? What is it? Think.
It's an elephant, and it was really old. It was about 76.
Right.
And it had sore feet, because it's old, and
They don't make stair
and
lifts
the
that big, do they?
roads are bad and that.
Yeah, go
so, they said, what are we going to do? And the town was like, oh, we're used to seeing it around, it's part of the thing, we don't want it to have sore feet.
Yeah.
So they got some slippers made for it. And it had like a picture of the elephant looking happy wearing some slippers.
I love him! I love Carl, his world! Think of it, where did you see this picture?
That was on the internet.
Right.
That's a lesson, though, for any elephants listening. Don't wear stilettos to work every day, because it can do your feet in.
So that
But
it's
don't elephants have really bad memories?
no, they're really good memories.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good then. No, I just thought they'd forget where they put them. I thought there was something about elephants having bad memories and that.
It goes on, where's my slippers?
Yeah.
I'm sure I left them by the Tesco.
So, sorry, there's an elephant walking around wearing slippers?
Yeah, that's in
What
India.
kind of slippers? Those sort of old man ones with the sort of checkers
Well, round
design.
ones, I imagine.
Yeah.
Big round ones.
there was that going on.
And is it happening? Is it happier? I mean, does it feel
No,
more
it looked
satisfying?
it, looked it.
Did it look? How can you tell? How can you tell the difference, please?
What else is there? There was a woman who's had a breast insured for 150 grand.
Right.
Okay. Any more information there?
What? Third-party fire and theft?
Don't know, it just said, it had a picture of her with them, like, you know, out. I just thought, yeah, you should get them covered.
He's done another real joke!
Brilliant, that's a proper joke.
He's done, look at his little face, he smiles!
I'd like to see you on one of the sort of TV panel games. If they could bring back sort of celebrity squares, it'd be amazing as the centre square.
Oh, that would be incredible.
Or on Countdown in Dictionary Corner.
I imagine him in Dictionary Corner.
I've come up with cat, if that helps at all.
Yeah. Memblant.
Yeah, what does that mean, Carl?
Just anything you want it to mean. Oh, what I've got, there's a dog that's got a cough in Singapore, because it smokes 20 a day. Right, okay, another one.
No, it's the last one in it, so we'll save it. The last one we've got is why I don't...
Sorry, what was that? Wash up with you, that was it? But was that it? Survey of washing pots and pans.
I didn't understand, you said Italy were the cleanest.
No, Spain.
No, Brits were the quickest.
Yeah.
We were the quickest, but Italy was the
Spain was the cleanest.
Turkey were the slowest.
Yeah.
Spain were the cleanest.
But why weren't we clean then? Because we were washing up, why were we not paying attention to the...
We did it rubbish, we did it quick.
We did it quickly, but I don't understand what it was being rated on.
Who was doing it? Was it Lynette Newman or Ainsley Harriott?
She's quick. Both of them are quick.
Yeah.
Well, they've got like kind of loads of slaves that do it for them.
Did we use Fairy Liquid?
No, it didn't have
Did we use a whole bunch of Boy Scouts?
Didn't say that. Just
like
said, it just said, you know, that.
Who had the softest hands? Who had the softest hands?
So it didn't say. I didn't.
Why is it we don't get notified that this is taking place?
I don't know.
When I was a kid, no one ever said, you know, we need recruits because we're doing a survey on who can wash up the quickest.
Are you disappointed in yourself with that one, Carl?
It is pretty dull. To be fair, and that is why we've got to bring in either con merchant or a wine merchant
or shut up at your face.
Yeah.
Would you be able to, if I put you on the spot in the next, sort of after the next record, would you be able to give an example of how con merchant would work? I mean, is there something you could do, just sort of experiment?
Should we play record? Should we play record?
I can do better than that.
What?
Ads.
Go on. Travis on XFM 104.9 on Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. We're doing Educating Ricky. Right, final one. Come on, Karl.
Right, what was it? It was, why don't they just get a diary or some paper or something to write on?
Yeah. Because snappy.
I couldn't think of a heading for it. It's basically, people who have tattoos have never understood it, right? That they have something put on their arm.
Right, sorry. Have we started the educate? Is this part of it? Are you educating me? This is something that will be useful in my life that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
Go on then.
No, it's just like they've got a machine now, right? That does tattoos. You come up with a design you want, and you sort of this machine scans it, and you put your arm in this thing, and you press print or whatever, and then it does the tattoo on your hand or on your arm.
Like loads of little needles that follow a pattern?
Yeah,
computer.
basically. Yeah.
Is it a real tattoo? It's a proper
proper one. The fella said.
Well, as long as it goes out, it pierces the skin with a.
I just wondered if it's one of those kind of, you know, those kind of.
No, it must be lots of little needles or a moving needle that can go
Sorry,
along.
but how is this cleaned, like in between each person?
Dunno, probably. I don't know.
Well, no, it's only that if it's one needle, it's just the head, isn't it? If it's one needle that moves, does it like like loads of little...
What are we gaining from a machine doing it?
Just because, you know, they're going to sort of mess it up.
But hold on, how do you keep your arm still? Because your skin moves slightly, the machine
it's sort of strapped to your arm.
Right,
and
so it's spread...
the fella said that the tricky thing was in all this, it was the fact that, you know, nobody would let him test it out on anyone else, so he had to do it himself.
But did it work? Because the thing is with the tattoo artists, they can see when your skin's moved, and they can see what they've done, and they keep wiping it and looking, whereas a machine's just got to trust itself. Yeah. So, I think one needle could go wrong. If it was a lot of needles that it just came down, like, you know, 1,000 needles that was an imprint.
Yeah.
But obviously I'm asking someone who's hasn't delved any further than there's a machine that can give you a tattoo. That's all you've got at the moment, isn't it?
Well, yeah, basically.
That's all you've got?
I mean, that's what I've got, because I'm not a fan of tattoos, I don't...
But where did you read this again?
This was...
Internet?
This was on the internet, yeah, it was, yeah.
Okay.
And I just don't understand why people do it. That's what got me attention. Because me,
Sorry, what have I learned from this?
That if you wanted to get one, you know, you can get one done by a machine now. You know, people say machines are sort of taking over and that, and there's another one. But it's just the fact, I mean, I don't know.
So give us the snappy title of this education again.
Why don't they just get a diary or some paper or something to write it on? That's what I always think when I see people with loads of tattoos. Like there's that fella who we were talking about the other week in Scotland who was covered 99% in tattoos. It's just like, what have you done that for?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can't get rid of it now. You've done it now.
Yeah.
One of my uncles, right, Tattoo Stan, he's just caked in them.
Tattoos.
Right.
I don't think he's my proper uncle, but it's just like my dad's got.
Tattoo Stan.
No, my dad's
that's a province in Russia, isn't it?
My dad's got loads of mates who.
When you say he's not your proper uncle,
do you know, like when
just a bloke
someone
who used to
comes
hang around
around,
with the school?
alright, Uncle Stan.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And my dad had loads of mates like that. There was John the Screw.
right?
So he either works in a prison or he likes to have sex.
Cabbie. Cab driver.
Okay.
There was Jimmy the Hat. I don't know what he
Jimmy
did.
the Hat.
Yeah. And
Did he wear a hat?
No.
No.
There was Fred the Veg.
You sure he wasn't a relative?
Sorry.
Fred the Veg used to get us like big bags of potatoes and that.
Fred Veg, okay.
And there was Tattoo Stan.
Right.
And he was just caked in them, and I used to always look at him thinking, why have you done that? I must have only been like, you know, 6
I
or
suppose
7.
if you're born with a name like Tattoo Stan,
Exactly.
you're destined, aren't you,
were
really?
they like a 1950s gang?
I'm worried about, I'm worried
Who were
about,
doing a bank job?
what was his name, the Hat? What was his name?
Jimmy the Hat.
I'm worried about Jimmy the Hat.
Yeah.
Not having a hat.
I don't understand it.
Are you sure he didn't have a hat?
Not when I met him.
Did he ever wear a hat?
I didn't see him that much.
Do you think it was a joke, like, you know, when your mate's sort of like, you know, 8 foot and huge, you call him Little John or Tiny? Do you think?
Well, the fact that he never wore a
Yeah, they
hat.
went, hold on, I've noticed something about Jim. Go on. No hat. And I go, oh, true, let's call him Jim the Hat.
Jimmy the Hat, yeah. But my Uncle Stan, he had like loads of them. He did them himself,
Oh dear.
and it was always that thing.
God. What was it things like?
He had like the
cross.
cut here,
Cut
one
here,
on
made
the
in
neck.
Britain.
And if you're going to do them yourself, I'd say at least make sure you're sort of a good drawer.
Yeah.
And don't do it in the mirror so it comes out backwards.
Well, that was the other thing. But like, I remember he did. I mean, names are all right. He had like all his kids' names down his arm. And,
what are they called?
Yeah.
oh, God, it's
Tattoo Stan Jr.
Yeah.
and
Paul shits the bed.
I'm trying to.
Oh, Wobby Kate.
yeah, yeah.
But he had.
Frankie never amounts to anything.
Oh, God.
So he had like.
Yeah. Johnny, I don't think he's mine.
So he did all this. I don't even know why I'm telling you about tattoos.
No, nor do I, Carl.
Hey,
to be honest,
I don't know if maybe you just have to picture this. But my sister had to take a photo once. She was working in like a factory, not to denigrate people who work in factories, but there happened to be a particularly oddball, kind of lank-haired, weird guy living, working in this factory, and he did his own tattoos, and she took a photo of it because she was so extraordinary. He'd drawn it himself. Now, bear in mind, it was the kind of thing you saw when you were doing art when you were like 15. This is the sort of person who designed their own like heavy rock album cover.
Yeah.
He's that sort of person. So, I mean, like,
was it a dragon with breasts?
You're not far off, Rick.
No.
You're not far off. I'll tell you what it was. He had this tattooed on his back. It took up his entire back. She took a photo of it for me. He drew it himself. He had it tattooed himself, and it was just too much detail. Too much detail for a tattoo. It needs to be fairly simple, I think, to make a tattoo. It was... it was a naked female vampire having a shower.
Why was she having a shower?
Having a shower. Well, that's why she was naked.
Yeah.
And so she was
been out. She was presumably
she'd been out
a lot of blood.
Yeah, well, she was naked, so you could see her naked body.
Yeah.
She's quite a beautiful vampire, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
Although the symmetry of her face was somewhat off.
Yeah.
The only thing I think that gave it away
had a bad spine.
was that she had, she did have some pointed teeth. I think that was how you knew she was a vampire.
Right. Was she looking?
But the fact that she was having a shower was very specific,
weird, isn't it?
But he'd sort of drawn in all
he said to the guy, I said, listen, I want a naked bird, right? But I don't want it to be gratuitous. He goes, well, you could put her in the shower, because then they went, pop her in the shower.
That at least gives some kind of
that's the
justification
plot, that's the plot. I mean, you know, it's justified within the story. She's in a shower. Sure, okay, yeah, we'll have that. Carl.
So.
Yeah, okay. Any other nicknames your friends of your family had?
What was your nickname, Carl?
Just, Pilky, really.
Because for a minute I thought Carl the Veg would have made a lot of sense.
Yeah, Carl the Veg. And why has your dad got a little tattoo, dopey twat, on his arm?
Right, we'll do the answers to, Rockbusters next, yeah?
Brilliant. Buzzcocks. Still sounds brilliant, that.
It is a cracker.
They're from Manchester as well, Carl, so they got a little bit of pride there, eh?
I think one of them's, one of my mate's dads.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
What's his nickname?
Well, his name was, I don't really want to say his name.
Oh, okay.
Laurie, his first name was.
Yeah. Still is, probably.
Yeah. He was a good lad.
Well, you know those little fellas at school that didn't know each other, weren't related and weren't friends because it would be too obvious, that they had webbed, hands and big heads?
Yeah.
What were they, did they have any nicknames?
Again, too obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, Big Ed, or, you know.
Sure.
I bet you're good at juggling, or...
Frog twins.
Yeah.
Can I just interrupt you guys, because we've just had an email here, I hate to query you, Carl, and your educating Ricky section, because I know you put a lot— don't read this, let me just read it for you. Just had an email here from Olivia, and this has also been corroborated by someone else, I forget who it was. She just tuned in, and she just heard you explaining the expression, letting the cat out of the bag.
Sure.
It's all to do with cats that were put in bags by dodgy butchers, possibly the 17th century, we're not too sure. Anyway, she claims— well, let me see, she says, she uses both the words twaddle and crap, in relation to your definition. She says letting the cat out of the bag is an old shipping expression from when sailors used to get flogged for their misdemeanours. The cat is the cat of nine tails, which is a kind of whip thing that they used to keep hanging in a bag below deck. If it was discovered that a sailor had done something wrong, the cat would be let out of the bag and he'd get a whipping. Hence, don't let the cat out of the bag, meaning to cover something up or to keep it
She's talking nonsense,
No,
right?
she's not, that's the truth, that's
because the one I read about that was there's not enough room in here to swing a cat, right? And that was people who worked on a boat.
Yeah, but that's the same one.
Well, that's fine, they could have two expressions for the
They're
same
not going to
thing.
keep going on about people working on a boat to get loads of sailors.
You can't have two phrases about the same thing!
These sailors have got nothing to do with their time.
Think how many—
just coming up with stuff.
Think how many metaphors have birds in them, and, you know, it's ridiculous. Why can't you can have as many sounds as you like about anything, Carl.
Yeah,
There's not a rule.
whatever.
They don't go, we've made one up about the cat and nine tails.
Well, cheers for that, Oliver. Olivia.
Yeah.
Don't see your email coming up with the Rockbusters answers, so let's
you better give us the answers
let's
again.
give them out. The first one was
This is Strokes, and last night we just had a call, didn't we, from Johnny Mango.
Oh yeah, Johnny Mango, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, old the Mankster. And he informed me that one of the Wurzels is dead, and I didn't know that.
Yeah, Adge Cutler, who was the lead man, I think.
Yeah, he said he died the most rock and roll death you can die. He said he was apparently driving on a terrible cocktail of cider and other things, presumably.
Yeah.
Apples and jams.
Yeah.
And he crashed into a tractor. Now, I wonder, is that true? JM's not winding me up.
Yeah,
I hope the Mango Boy's not having a laugh at me. Is that true? One of the Wurzels died by tractor. Did he? Is that true? So give us a call. What's the number again, Carl?
08700 800 1234.
If so, I'm sorry that I disrespected him. I didn't know.
Could you imagine?
Oh God.
If, right, say if like you're the driver of the tractor, and you kill someone, you go, oh God, I've killed someone, and then you look and it's someone famous.
Yeah, or Adge Cutler. Yeah, go on, what was your point?
No, it's just like, not
Terrifying,
only,
yeah.
it's like you've killed someone, then you look.
But
I mean,
yeah, I know what you mean.
And
Actually,
what makes it even worse? And what makes it even worse? They were rich.
Yeah.
Oh, that
no,
would
but
be.
say if it was someone who's like really big in the world.
No, that is I quite like that. It's an interesting point,
Oh,
that.
that's your bag. No wonder I can't find what I'm looking for.
Oh, right, well,
As Bono said.
did you bring a bag?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Is that under there, Rick?
sorry about this. I'm not
Well,
ignoring.
this is getting a bit sloppy.
No, it's not. No,
No, it is, Rick. It's getting sloppy.
It's never got sloppy before. No, I've got a list here because we went to this award ceremony in the week. We were up for an award.
Well, I have to explain it to Carl, because basically we were up for an award, and it's called it's the Trick Awards. Now, Trick stands for Television and Radio Industries Club Annual Awards, right?
We've never heard of it either.
We've never heard of it. It's some kind of, like, television radio industry club. That's why it's
Yeah,
called
that's the
television
clue,
radio,
isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. So, but we don't want to. I'm not trying to slag off the award, because it was, it was a big thing, and they really made an effort, and it was really nice. Food was brilliant. It was at the Grosvenor House Hotel, really nice do, and lots of industry people in that there. It was really classy.
We got there nice and early, so we were there for a good 4 hours
Before we had to sit down, but it was just kind of surreal. It was just a bit weird because it was packed with the cream. I'm literally the cream. Big names, Martin Kemp, one of the first people I saw, came in, like big TV, radio industry names, on-screen talent, behind-the-scenes people.
John Barnes
was there.
Beadle was there.
Sir Cliff Richard was there.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so the voice comes on and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the chairman of the president of the Trick Awards." And we had to stand up. All of these people had to stand up and give a standing ovation as he walked to his table to Tom O'Connor, former presenter of Crosswits.
You're joking.
No.
He's the president.
And he came out, he told a few gags, sort of like, it was like, straight away, it was, old school stuff. I was like, thank the ladies, because, it was nothing without the ladies, all the lovely ladies here. And we went for a joke. No. Just thanking the ladies.
Well, you're forgetting that just prior to that, he said grace.
Oh, he said grace.
Before we ate.
Right? It was me, Steve, and Ash, our producer, the little, disabled fella, right? And he's there in his wheelchair, and there's me and Steve. We're standing up during
By the way,
grace.
can I just stop you there?
Go on.
Saw someone in the week, and
Sorry, did we bore you?
you just reminded me then about the little producer who's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Last week you said blah blah blah, and our producer who's in a wheelchair got a text from someone saying, "What's happened to you?" They thought you were talking about me.
Oh, really?
Oh.
So yeah.
Oh.
You're handicapped in a different way.
So go on.
And Tom O'Connor, he said, thank you, God, for...
We thought this was a joke initially. We thought it was going to be like a kind of cheeky gag.
That's why we were laughing out loud.
That's why we were laughing raucously.
Anyway, and then he went, I thank you, God, for this, and help those who walk alone. And Ash went, what about those that don't walk at all? He said, I've never been left out of grace before.
So, but we had to have kind of like bowed our heads slightly, and did we say amen? I know that we were a lot of people did.
I'm pretty sure
Cliff, I think, probably chimed in there.
Yeah,
And,
he sang it.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Like Mariah Carey.
So anyway, but before, again, you see, what Ricky's forgotten is before Tom took to the stage, this guy walks up there, I don't know who he is, says, there's a lot of people here this afternoon, it's a wonderful event, but of course there's a load of celebrities as well.
He said, thank you for all the celebrities that have turned up. And then he went, table 77, Mr. Russ Abbott.
And we all
round of
clap.
applause. Can we have the spotlight there?
Russ Abbott, by the way, smoking a pipe. Actually, he looked like a bit like Barrett Holmes, this hilarious Sherlock Holmes character.
Then he went, table 107, the cast of Bad Girls. Clap.
We like to clap.
And then he went, table 5, Alice Beer. Clap.
Slightly smaller clapping.
Yeah. And it's just like, and I thought, when is this gonna...
He went through every single celebrity in the room.
And there were about, 100.
Table 53, John Inman, everyone. It's John Inman. Round of applause.
Yeah, and, table 70, Mr. Simon Cowell. Boo.
Yeah, there was booing there.
And
yeah.
they all booed him.
That was nice.
Yeah, that was a joke. Ironic booing, I think.
Could they cheer for Foxy? Was he on the table?
We didn't see Foxy.
Foxy wasn't there. He was doing his show. When they went up, they won an award, Cowell and Waterman and Chapman.
Table 43, Peter Sissons, everyone. Peter Sissons. Went through every single name. Ricky got so paranoid they might mention him that we kind of legged it upstairs and were watching from the balcony as they shone the spotlight on our table. And it was largely empty. That was particularly fun. But then at the end, Sir Cliff got up there, right? Because Sir Cliff was giving out the Lifetime Achievement Award, right? He gets up, he gives a speech, he goes, this is a personal friend of mine, a 7 days a week friend. Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Mrs. Gloria Hunniford. Right? We immediately start thinking what exactly were her lifetime achievements.
I think living that long.
That's pretty much it. I don't know what it is she's done,
I can
Gloria
tell you
Hunniford.
what she does.
I don't exactly, I know she's done a Radio 2 show, I don't think that's
We're not
anymore.
dissing her. We're not dissing
No,
anyone.
good luck
We're
to
not taking the mick out of anyone, but,
But anyway,
it was just a strange event.
But Gloria got taken unawares by this and started to ad-lib a speech, right? And I swear to God, about 12 minutes in, she was telling us how, and I can tell you now if you're interested, her lovely daughter Karen is currently in Australia. It's partly work, it's partly a holiday, Carl, and she's having a whale of a time, but she's not spoken to her for ages.
And then she went, actually she's been there for a long time.
Yeah,
and it's like, I was thought she was going to go, she doesn't call, you do that, you get a blue Peter, and this is how she...
We thought she was going to get photos out, maybe, start showing it.
It was a nice event, and, you know, everyone there, Henry Cooper was there. So Henry
It was so good because every single element as well was sponsored by someone.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the menu, I've got the programme here, and the menu, like the pudding, is sponsored by Electrolux.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you've ever had a pudding sponsored by Electrolux.
I was sponsored by Zanussi.
When everyone was doing the prayers, did you look at them with their eyes shut? like you did at school?
What do you mean?
Well, when you had...
Did you look at someone with your eyes shut?
No, like, you'd do that. You'd do your hands together.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you sort of look at people with their eyes shut and think that's what they look like when they're sleeping.
Play record.
Didn't you ever do that?
Right, it's the quiz of the week.
If you want to go out and do some shopping, this is probably a good time, and come back again about 15:15.
But don't forget, what I will say is, even though these clues, we're going to do songs of phrase, by the way, where Carl picks out a phrase that he might have said once, tries to find words from songs to put it together. You've got to guess as many as you can, song or artist, I can't remember. But even though you might look at it and go, that's mental, I don't know any of them, you might win if you get 2 right. I mean, I think the winner last week got about 3 out of 3.
Well, I have to be honest with you, I mean, last week, Rockbusters, surprisingly, was a very, very popular quiz.
Yeah.
It just happened to be awful.
Yeah.
This one is pitiful. I mean, it's truly atrocious.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't even have a fan base. I mean, there's no one championing this one, Carl. Last week, seriously, mate, I got about
Carl's face.
7 or 8 replies.
Oh, God, that's terrible. That was like when you told a kid that you couldn't afford a Christmas present this year. Look at his face.
Yeah, he is a bit distraught.
Carl,
it's like Chris Evans' face when they said they were cancelling Girls and Boys. It's like, but I can come up with great TV game shows like that. No, you can't, Chris, not anymore.
Oh, his little glasses slid down his nose.
I'm the guy who don't forget your toothbrush.
Yeah. All that money you owe me. No, you owe us. Oh, can't believe it.
Alright, so... Will I just play it to you and
whatever, Carl,
try and work out what the phrase is?
Sorry, it's a phrase that might have once been uttered on this show.
It was said last week.
Oh, right.
Alright, okay, brilliant.
Alright, here we go.
I know you're just 16, but looking all 21.
Right, I can't hear it.
I know what that is. That's ridiculous.
What was it?
What it is it's something like, right, you're only 16, but you look 26, and the Chinese look older than they are or something, because he said that, the Chinese don't age well. That is mental, Carl. It's the most convoluted, ridiculous, racist piece of material ever to be uttered on radio.
Play it again.
I know you're just 16, but looking all 21.
That's... Okay, you're just 16 and looking all 21. That's because the Chinese look older. Carl, you've gone mental!
Alright.
Oh, that is amazing. So, there you go, the well-known phrase, you're 16, looking all of 21, that's because the Chinese look older. Well-known phrase there, sweeping the nation. That'll be up there with "was up," and "shut that door." If they do a poll. Right.
Okay, play it once more. We're after the artists.
Just the artists.
Yeah.
I know you're just 16, but looking all 21.
Unbelievable.
Alright, let me tell you what the prizes are. We've got, I assume this is the new album from Mower. Everyone's going crazy for Mower. I've not heard people stop talking about Mower. But there it is. We got the new album from the Webb Brothers, which might be quite good. The Polyphonic Spree album, the best dance album in the world ever, which is ideal perhaps if you're having a barbecue and you've got lots of 8-year-old children coming.
The Polyphonic Spree, I look at them and I think, well, you know, a pretty good band, but But, if that album sounds like $1 million, you're gonna make that 40 quid each.
I know, it's extraordinary.
I mean...
They're the sort of indie equivalent of the So Solid crew.
Yeah, you're not gonna make any money. The manager's getting 20%.
Yeah. And also on DVD, Red Dwarf Series 1, so, some absolutely barnstorming places.
And if you can identify what artist are using this well-known racist phrase, that's because the Chinese look older.
Play it once more, Carl.
One more time.
I know you're just 16, but looking all of 21. That's
Oh, God!
Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Play a record, this is Radio.
Just a couple of emails just to update you on what's coming in here.
Go on.
Natasha has emailed us. She says that she's of Chinese origin, and at 27 she often got mistaken for 24. So your notion that Chinese people don't age well is obviously factually incorrect.
Yeah, well, we didn't need... thank you for playing, but I mean, honestly, trust us, Natasha, we didn't need you to tell us that. We know Carl is talking absolute nonsense.
Wait till you get to 30.
Oh dear, now this is quite a nice email from Paul. He says, let Carl know that I have a Chinese friend called Oi. Imagine the confusing and amusing situations we get into.
We're out and about in busy Soho.
Oi!
Does his surname come here?
Lightning wit from Carl.
Wait
That's nice.
till you're 30.
Yeah, I know.
Brilliant.
But no, actually, we've had a surprising response to Songs of Phrase this week, despite the fact everyone has agreed that it's a racialist. But nevertheless had a go. So keep your answers coming in, because we may as well.
You're a hit, Carl. Right, play it again and give the answers. Here we go.
Songs of Phrase.
Songs of Phrase?
Name the artist.
Name the artist.
I know you're just 16, but looking old.
Hue and Cry.
That's
Who's that?
Hang on.
Oh, well, that's Philip Bailey again. That's too little.
Right, it was...
That was Roxette. The Look.
Yeah. Right, we had, Hue and Cry started it off.
Yeah.
16. That was Dean Martin. Because Jane's Addiction.
Yeah.
Because
Cars. Yeah.
Chinese Philip Bailey.
Philip Bailey, that's second outing he's had.
Look.
Last one we used him for Chinese, with as a hairy Chinese kid. He's never got so many royalties being used in racist game shows. Brilliant.
Then Roxette and finishing with George Michael.
Oh dear.
So.
Brilliant. Who's the winner?
Well, the winner, actually, it looks to me like he's got all of them here, from Bognor Regis. It's Stuart Birch. Well done, Stuart, and you get that bag of tat.
Bognor Regis.
Yep.
Oh,
just needed
takes me back as well.
Yeah, if you just email in your address, Stuart, and you can have those goodies. If you're not interested, don't bother.